Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about the next topic of the lesson, acid, bases and salts. Previously we discussed all the properties of acids, bases and how they react, what are the end products. Now, in this class we'll discuss about what does acids consists of. Initially, we know that acid has been obtained by reacting or by dissolving of non-metallic oxides with water. Generally, when we consider the water, either acid or base has been obtained by dissolving in water. So here what will happen in the sense the water molecule has been decomposed. Decomposed means divided into two components. What are those two components in the sense hydrogen and OH. The combination of hydrogen with non-metal, it forms acid, and hydroxide forms base. That means the main component of acid consisting of hydrogen, and it is also proved that by reacting of acid with metal, it produces hydrogen gas only. Okay, once go through this. Okay. Now, let us consider an activity that how this hydrogen will help us, or what is the use of this hydrogen in acids by conducting an activity. Acids conduct electricity or not? For the production of electricity, we require flow of electrons or flow of free ions. Now, in this activity, we are trying to investigate about acid will produce electricity or not with the help of hydrogen. Let's conduct. Now, let us consider a beaker having a capacity of 100 ml. Consider a beaker having a capacity of 100 ml. Now, pour some amount of concentrated sulfuric acid. You have to take some amount of sulfuric acid. Now, insert 2 graphite rods into the acid. Now we have to connect these graphite rods with two colored wires, and it has been connected to a bulb. The wire having a potential difference of 230 volts has been connected to AC plug. These are the requirements. Once go through this. Okay. Now, what are the requirements or what are the solutions we want? We have to conduct this experiment with the help of acid, glucose, and alcohol. Now, pour acid means nothing but concentrated sulfuric acid or nitric acid or HCl, what it may be. We have to take one acid and we have to pour into the 100 ml beaker, and we have to observe whether the bulb will glow or not. We observe that when we poured acid into the beaker, the bulb will glow. At the same time, after finding the result, we have to take out that acid and we have to clean it very perfectly, and we have to pour the next solution, and we have to repeat the same experiment whether the bulb glows or not. In the remaining two cases, we observe that in presence of glucose or alcohol, the bulb may not glow. Now let us find out the reason why the bulb has been glown only in presence of acid and why the bulb may not glow in presence of glucose or alcohol. The reason is that the acid will produce H plus ions, which is responsible for the conducting of electricity. H plus indicates here a cation. That means there might be cation means loss of electrons. That means the hydrogen is losing their electrons into the space, which is nothing but free electrons, and those free electrons is responsible for the production of that electricity. That means with this we can able to conclude that acids are responsible for conducting of electricity because of H plus ions, whereas glucose and alcohol may not produce as H plus ions, so they failed to make the bulb to glow. So it is an experiment. Okay. Next, what do we observe? When we add water to acid or base. Let's observe. Let us take a test tube, and it has been filled some part, 1/3 of the test tube with water. Okay, now we have to take a concentrated sulfuric acid. We have to pour at one end of the test tube very slowly into the water. ఒక వైపు నుండి స్లోగా లోపలికి రిలీజ్ చేయాలి. And mix the water and the acid with the help of the stirrer and touch the bottom of the test tube with your finger. Again, repeat the same experiment in place of concentrated sulfuric acid. We have to take sodium hydroxide. And we have to repeat the same experiment. In both the cases, we observe that on adding of either sodium hydroxide or concentrated sulfuric acid to the water, we observe the bottom of the test tube has been somewhat hot. That means reacting of acid or base with water is an exothermic. Exo means releasing. Thermic means heat energy. That means either acid or base on reacting with water produces huge amount of heat energy. And there might be one question is that always we have to add acid or base slowly into the water, but not directly water to acid or base, because as we termed it is exothermic reaction. When we add directly water to acid or base, there might be a chance to explode. పేలిపోయే ప్రమాదం ఉంటుంది. Okay students, we will discuss in the next class.